Welcome, race fans, to a beautiful Friday night here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is race day for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network as we are here to deliver race number 3 of the 2022 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season. It has been an exciting first two opening races into the season, with Tyler Ankrum scoring an upset win at Daytona and Zane Smith scoring the victory last Friday night in Fontana, California. But tonight is a new night, a new track, new challenges these truckers will have to face in tonight's 65-lap race. It is the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200. It is the 30th time the Truck Series will tackle this mile-and-a-half speedway of Las Vegas. We have 7 prior winners here racing tonight. We have Truck Series regulars like John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes, and Grant Enfinger, all past winners here in Las Vegas. And of course, you can't forget about the hometown hero, Kyle Busch, a 3-time winner in the last 8 races here at Las Vegas. It is a busy weekend here. Action-packed. We got the Truck Series tonight, but then tomorrow night we have the NASCAR Xfinity guys going after Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and then on Sunday the NASCAR Cup Series will have their turn with the Pennzoil 400, and you can catch all the action right here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. Tonight, though, like we said, it is all about the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and on the pole tonight, it is Middletown, New York's Christian Eckes grabbing the 4th pole of his career, coming off a very disappointing 27th place finish last week in Fontana. Hopes to turn the bad luck around here tonight. Last time the Truck Series raced here at Las Vegas, it was also Christian Eckes who went to victory lane. That was the first and only win of his career as of right now. Starting on the outside of the front row, the number 18 of Chandler Smith entering tonight as the point leader, and the only driver to score a top 5 in each of the first 2 races here of the year. A much better start to the season for the 2021 Rookie of the Year. And then you have Stuart Friesen lined up in 3rd place with your Daytona winner Tyler Ankrum on the outside of row number 2. And then Zane Smith will round out the top 5 on row 3. Now, let's take a look here at the playoff grid. Just 2 races in, 2 names in green, indicating that they are more than likely locked into the postseason. 10 drivers will make the playoffs, and I know it's too early to be talking about points but in the playoffs, but just look at some of the names that you see right here. No surprise when you see guys like Chandler Smith and John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski, but solid starts to the season for guys like Jack Wood, Jesse Little, Timmy Hill, Blaine Perkins. It's going to be interesting to see if that will continue here throughout the night. Johnny Zotter, as you see, comes in here 14th in the points, but he is not in the field tonight, so he is going to be taking up that list at the end of the night. A few more stories we want to talk about before we go green, but first let's go to a commercial break, and when we come back we will show you the starting grid for tonight's Victoria Voice Foundation 200. We are back live here at the track, and we are moments away from the drop of the green flag in the Victoria Voice Foundation 200. Trucks are now rolling on the track. Let's take a look here at your starting grid for tonight's race here from Las Vegas. Row number 1, we got Christian Eckes, the 4th pole of his career, alongside Chandler Smith, your point leader here in the Truck Series. Back on row number 2, we got Stuart Friesen, 6 top 10s in 12 Las Vegas starts, with Daytona winner Tyler Ankrum on the outside. Row 3, Zane Smith has 3 top 10s in 4 prior starts, with Tanner Gray making his 3rd Vegas appearance. Row 4, Kyle Busch, a 3-time Truck Series winner here. Always a threat when he jumps behind the wheel of one of these trucks. And the 42 of Carson Hocevar. Row 5, Colby Howard earns his best career start in the Truck Series, rolling off 9th next to his teammate at Bill McAnally Racing, Derek Kraus, in the 19. Row number 6, Ben Rhodes won his very first Truck Series race right here in 2017 with Haley Deegan, 2 prior Vegas starts with a best finish of 28th to his outside. Row number 7, Ryan Preece, top 5 last week in Fontana, and Wisconsin's Ty Majeski in the number 13. Row 8, Brendan Poole, great to see him back in the Truck Series, job for Al Neese and John Hunter Nemechek. Very uncharacteristic to see Nemechek this deep in the field on the outside of row number 8. Row number 9 with Lawless Allen, another one of the Nice Motorsports Chevrolets, and Chase Purdy crashed out early last Friday night in Fontana. Hopes to have a good rebound here tonight. Row number 10, Matty Benedetto has 2 runner-up finishes here in the NASCAR Cup Series, and Matt Crafton, 11 top 5s and 16 top 10s in 25 starts here, but never to victory lane. Does that change tonight? Row number 11 has some familiar faces from the Xfinity Series. Myatt Snyder in the field tonight, driving the number 3 for Jordan Anderson Racing, and Austin Hill, a 2-time Vegas winner, on the outside for Spire Motorsports. Row 12, Jack Wood earned a career best 6th place finish last week, and Ty Dillon in the field driving for Brett Holmes Racing. Row number 13, Parker Klugerman in the number 75, and welcome back the youngin, 2-time Truck Series champion Todd Bodine is back in the 62. Row 14, Grant Enfinger won here in the fall of 2018, starting very deep in the field in his champion Power Equipment Chevrolet, and he'll have Ricky Dean Thompson on the outside. Row 15 is Timmy Hill, the 56, and Jesse Little, both sitting inside the top 10 in points after 2 weeks. Row number 16, Blaine Perkins making his Truck Series Vegas debut, and Greg Gaulding on the outside. Row number 17, Drew Dollar and his Sunbelt Reynolds Chevrolet, and Chris Wright for Rackley War Racing. Row 18, Norm Benning missed the show at Daytona and California, but he locks himself in tonight with Jennifer Jo Cobb. Row number 19, Tate Fogelman nearly crashed in qualifying, but fortunately kept it out the wall. Unfortunately, he starts all the way back in 37th place with Thad Moffitt to his outside. And running out the field on row number 20, Ryan Huff in the 46 for Glory to God Racing, and Tyler Hill, the final driver to make the show on speed. We had a total of 41 trucks show up to compete here, but in qualifying, Chris Hacker, driving the 33 for Rayoon Brothers Racing, got loose and crashed, and the team did not have a backup truck. Therefore, Chris Hacker was the only truck to miss the show, and that team, unfortunately, heading back to Mooresville, North Carolina, at least one day early. But we have 40 drivers on the grid, and before we go green, we have a few more stories we want to talk about before the green flag drops here tonight. One driver we want to keep an eye on throughout the night is the number 7 of Austin Hill, driving the United Reynolds Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 2022 marks the first season for Spire competing in the Truck Series full-time. But in the first 2 races of the year, it's been nothing but bad luck for truck number 7. Ryan Truex drove this truck at Daytona with Daniel Hemrick behind the wheel at Fontana, both finishing outside the top 25. Austin Hill, who has 2 prior Las Vegas wins, hopes to turn around the bad luck here tonight for Spire Motorsports. He starts on the outside of row number 11. Another driver we want to keep an eye on is starting directly beside him on the inside lane. That is the number 3 of Myatt Snyder, one of our full-time Xfinity regulars, as like Austin Hill, who will be running double duty here, competing in the race tomorrow as well. But Myatt Snyder driving for the same team he runs on Saturdays, Jordan Anderson Racing, fielding a truck here for Snyder with Tax Slayer on board. And this, we talk about the number 7 truck having some bad luck to begin the year. The same can be said for this 3 truck. The first 2 races have not really gone well for Jordan Anderson Racing here on the truck side. Snyder hopes to use some of his experience to try to drive his way through the field and get maybe the first top 15 for this small team here tonight. And as those 2 teams have a task at hand just to run a solid race, then we have a guy who is here just to have fun. That is the 62. We talked about him at the top of the show, Todd Bodine. the two-time Truck Series champion from 2006 and 2010. A deal put together by Marcus Lemonis to help Todd Bodine reach 800 starts in NASCAR competition. And Todd Bodine right here in the number 62. That is a second truck for Halmar Friesen Racing. A 6-race deal put together for Todd Bodine. And he is here and he's back. He's a former winner here. He won here back in 2005. Back live here at the front. We are getting set to go green. The lights are out at the top of the pace car, and it is time to get this race going under green. Christian Eckes and Chandler Smith, your front row. The top 4 spots on the grid are all Toyotas, but they're all 4 trucks from 4 different teams. That's definitely a nice variety of different teams here at the front, even though they all fall under the same manufacturer umbrella. And then you have Zane Smith and Tanner Gray, a couple of Fords on row 3, Kyle Busch on the inside of row 4. If you're looking for the highest Chevrolet, it's the 42 of Carson Hocevar. Stage 1 will end on lap number 20. Stage 2 on lap number 40. The final stage will be a 25-lap run to the checkers. And it starts right now as the pace car is in pit lane. It's Eckes and Smith bringing them down to the green flag. And we are racing in the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200. Oh, a little bit of contact already before they even get down to turn number 1. Carson Hocevar and Kyle Busch contact before they even get to the first corner. And I believe there was another truck that may have gotten in the wall. The one of Haley Deegan. Oh yeah, you see some damage on the right side of that number 1 truck, and on the left side, and on the front end. Heavy damage early on for Haley Deegan as we complete the first lap under green, and it's the pole sitter Christian Eckes leading the way. Stuart Friesen drives to the inside of the 1818, way out of shape up top, up in the marbles. There's really no grip up there yet. The track is still pretty dirty. It's going to take a while to get that top lane cleaned up. And now Zane Smith powers by the 15 of Tanner Gray. There's the 16 of Tyler Ankrum looking to go 3 wide in the middle in that 16 truck. And now Tanner Gray falls back in the clutches of the 51 of Kyle Busch. We saw him make contact with Carson Hocevar on the drive to green flag. There's Chandler Smith down low. The 99 of Ben Rhodes also trying to follow suit on the bottom. Christian Eckes trying to drive away from the 52 of Stuart Friesen. Zane Smith, Kyle Busch, and Chandler Smith. Then Ben Rhodes, Tanner Gray. How about the 45, Brennan Poole? He's one guy that we didn't even talk about a whole lot. Brennan Poole, he ran last week for a smaller team. This week gets the call to drive for Al Neese and Neese Motorsports. Got Plan B sales on the truck this week. And right now, Poole started outside the top 10, is already driving towards the top 5 in the early stages of this race. In front of the 91 of Colby Howard, he just passed the 15 of Tanner Gray. There's Gray's teammate on the bottom, the 17 of Ryan Preece. Matty Benedetto up top in that 25. There's John Hunter Nemechek. John Hunter, you normally see him up at the front of the field, but he's honestly struggled a lot here this weekend. They have just not gotten the handling correct on that number 4 truck. Right now, he's mired outside the top 10, battling the 40, Ricky Lawless Allen to his inside. Back up at the front, though, new leader Zane Smith up front now leading Chandler Smith. It's the Smith boys up here at the front. A Ford and a Toyota leading the way. Chandler had to get out the gas. Looks like he got a little loose. Had to check up. That allows Stuart Friesen to jump to the outside here off turn 2 down the back straightaway. And now Eckes going to try to use the drafter powered by the 18 as well. The 2 trying to team up on the outside lane, but Chandler Smith a nice run on the inside. Keeps him at bay on the inside for momentarily. And now it looks like he may get put 3 wide. Here comes Eckes in the middle of the 98. Friesen all the way up against the wall. He's going to get past here with a 99 of Ben Rhodes as well as the 91 of Colby Howard. Now Colby Howard's not done yet though. Here it comes, drive to the inside, a little bit of contact, trying to pass the reigning series champion. Aggressive move there by the 91 rookie Colby Howard from Simpsonville, South Carolina. Drives by the 99 as they're going to catch the slower 43 of Thad Moffitt. He is off the pace here early on. Thad Moffitt, the grandson of the King, Richard Petty. Colby Howard's going to almost run the 18 up the racetrack, as well as here comes the 40 of Lawless Allen on the inside. There's the 4, John Hunter. Looks like he's starting to work his way up towards the front. Now they're going to get stuck in behind the 10, Jennifer Jo Cobb. She's also off the pace. And see Brendan Poole drives to the inside, Chase Purdy on the outside, and Cobb's going to be it's going to really hurt the 52 Stuart Friesen to see some damage on the right side of the 19 of Derek Kraus. I believe that came from the contact at the very initial start of the race. But there is the leader right now, Zane Smith, trying to pull out to a pretty good lead over the 98 of Christian Eckes. Ryan Priest right now up in third with Ben Rhodes and Chandler Smith, Chase Purdy, Lawless Allen, Brennan Poole, Ty Majeski, and Derek Kraus now your top 10. And there's a look at the one of Haley Diggin just now coming off pit lane. We saw her get some pretty good damage on the lap 1 incident, and she definitely got the worst of it, and she's been on pit lane for about 5 laps. So she's going to come onto the track about 5 laps down to our leaders. Definitely not the night she was looking for after having a career run last week in Fontana. Greg Galding's also been on pit road. Working right now, we are working lap number 13, and Zane Smith has almost a second lead on Christian Eckes. And we are not too far away from the green and white checker flag here in stage number 1 as I'm trying to work our way towards the driver of that number 38 truck. Moving over to Front Row Motorsports after competing with GMS Racing the past 2 years. Runner-up in the title for the last 2 years. Sponsorship didn't really work out to stay at GMS Racing, but picked up this opportunity here at Front Row Motorsports and definitely taking advantage of it. Got a win early on last week in Fontana. It took him until Martinsville last November to grab his first win of 2021, and already in the second race of the year, he's already got that first win locked up and ready to battle for a championship later on this summer. Christian Eckes, your pole sitter, in second place. Ryan Priest, one of our biggest movers of the day, no doubt, is that number 17. In third place, Ben Rhodes, and running at the top 5 is Chandler Smith. Lawless Allen, so far, Lawless Allen is having a career run right now in 6th. He leads the way for the Nice Motorsports Chevrolets. There's Brendan Poole having a great run in the 45. Chase Purdy, Ty Majeski, and here's a 10th place battle between teammates. Colby Howard on the inside, Derek Kraus on the outside. Kraus is going to give him that spot. Stuart Friesen was one of the guys who got trapped by some of those slower lap down trucks. He's now falling outside the top 10 in 12th place. John Hunter Nemechek, Matt Crafton, and there's the 32 of Ty Dillon. Matty Benedetto 16th. Jack Wood has a little bit of damage here on the left side of that number 24. Tyler Ankrum has now fallen back to 18th. Austin Hill 19th. And one driver who's having a very tough race here so far in stage number 1 is that 51 of Kyle Busch. Now, when Kyle Busch comes here in the Truck Series, we expect him to be leading the race. And right now, not only is he not leading or not even running inside the top 5 or top 10, he's all the way back, barely inside the top 20. We saw him get some damage, though, with Carson Hocevar, and I'm curious to wonder how much of that damage is affecting that number 51 truck. And as we're going to go back up towards the front, we're going to catch the 38 of Zane Smith. There he is, the Freight Auctions Ford F-150. Right now, 3 to go here in stage number 1. It'll be 2 to go here this time by to complete the first stage here at Las Vegas. Just got word from pit lane. The number 6 of Norm Benning has taken his truck behind the wall. So tough break for Norm Benning, who is done for the night prematurely here in Las Vegas. Right now, the 02 of Greg Gaulding is the first truck 1 lap down, and more than likely will be getting the free pass here. But he needs to hang on for 1 more lap because Zane Smith is coming, and Gaulding does not want to get trapped 2 laps down as Zane Smith takes the white flag here in stage 1. Third place battle here. Ben Rhodes on the inside of the 17 to Ryan Priest. Rhodes tries to drive it in deep, and he's going to take that spot away. Ben Rhodes up into 3rd. And there's Zane Smith going past the 02 of Greg Gaulding, and now Priest crosses the 99 over here in turn 3. But off turn 4, it was a checker flag last week, and tonight it is a green and white checker flag for Zane Smith. He wins stage number 1 here in Las Vegas. Pole center Christian Eckes is going to come home in 2nd place. Ryan Priest hangs on to 3rd in that number 17. Ben Rhodes and Chandler Smith. That will be the top 5 here in stage number 1. Looking through the top 10, I definitely see some fresh faces. I see some guys that we may not normally see here at the front inside the top 10. Brennan Poole having a great night. Colby Howard's having a great night. Lawless Allen, Chase Purdy. We got some heavy hitters in the back. Can they work their way up through the field here as we get set for the 2nd stage here in the Victoria Voice Foundation 200? We're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we'll have the start of stage number 2 here from Las Vegas. Back live here at the track, wrapping up the first stage of the night. Take a look here at your stage 1 results. Zane Smith, Christian Eckes, Ryan Priest, Ben Rhodes, and Chandler Smith. Lawless Allen, Brennan Poole, Chase Purdy, Ty Majeski, and Colby Howard all getting stage points. And Zane Smith will get that very important playoff point that he will carry all the way through the playoffs, en route to try to reach that championship race in Phoenix in November. As for Chandler Smith, he gets 6 points. That will help increase his point lead in the regular season championship. Back to green this time with Zane Smith and Christian Eckes, your front row. Time to get back underway here. And it is a great jump on the inside lane by Zane Smith. And old Lawless Allen I believe he got put in the wall by the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Tough restart there for the 40 of Lawless Allen. They're 3 wide up here at the front. Look at Ryan Priest down low on the inside. Although the 17 is a different team from the 38, these two teams, the 38 and the 17, are very close. They're basically teammates. And here they are at the front battling for the lead. Ryan Priest down low and Zane Smith up high. Now they're going to be double wide for 2nd place or 3rd place. Now that's going to become 2nd place as Zane Smith loses all his momentum on the outside lane. How about that 13 of Ty Majeski out of nowhere? Didn't really talk about Ty Majeski at all in that first stage, and here he is making some noise here in the 2nd stage. Now under attack from the 18 of Chandler Smith. Brennan Poole now trying to crack the top 5. There's Stuart Friesen down low in the 52. Another driver having a great run. That 32 truck of Ty Dillon. We have many drivers in the field that are running double duty here. They're running tonight and as well as tomorrow, or they're running the truck race tonight and the cup race on Sunday. As for Ty Dillon, he is running the truck race tonight and the cup race for Petty GMS Motorsports. And right now, Ty Dillon having a great run, driving for Brett Holmes Racing. At the front, though, third place battle, Ben Rhodes by the 18 of Chandler Smith. And now Pool's going to go 3 wide on the bottom. Could not make it stick. He got tight. Lost the nose on that 45 truck, and Ben Rhodes settles into third place. And now Chandler Smith tries to stay on the outside door of the 45 down here in 3 and 4. Do want to point out the 0-2 of Greg Gaulding did get the free pass under that yellow flag. He got put 2 laps down right before the end of that first stage. He was able to get one of his laps back. So if he can get one more caution, he will get back on the lead lap for Greg Gaulding. But how about the 17, Ryan Preece? We saw Preece, he started outside the top 10. He was able to work his way up inside the top 5, but he didn't really look like he had anything for the 38 in that first stage. And none of these guys came down pit road, and all of a sudden the 17 has shot out of a cannon, and that 38 of Zane Smith is falling back to 7th place. So wonder how much of a change the track is going through. They make the 17 a lot better and the 38 a lot worse. First off, that clean air is so important here in the truck series. If you can get that clean air, it will make your truck 10 times better than what it was if you're second on back. And right now, Zane Smith under attack now by John Hunter. He just lost the spot to John Hunter Nemechek, and now there's the 16 of Tyler Ankrum to his inside as well. As we look a little bit further back, there's the 25 of Matt DiBenedetto going past Derek Kraus, the 19, Austin Hill, the 7. Two-time winner here in the truck series. Matt Crafton has over 25 starts here, but he's never gone in victory lane, and he's been so close so many times. I go back to, I believe, 2012. He got passed by Nelson Piquet Jr. on the final lap. It's a big check up there by the 7 and the 32. The 88 had to get out the gas as well. That allows Chase Purdy to get to the inside down here in turn number 3. Colby Howard up the track. There's the 23 of Grant Enfinger. Carson Hocevar, the damage on the 42 truck. Lawless Allen, remember who he was running, he restarted in 6th place, and he's outside the top 20 right now. Kyle Busch still struggling with that 51 truck. I'm not sure what kind of damage he got, but obviously is definitely hurting the performance on that 51. Back up front here, we still have the 17 of Ryan Preece out in front. A little less than a second lead to the 13 of Ty Majeski, who runs in 2nd, followed by the 99, his ThorSport teammate Ben Rhodes in 3rd, Chandler Smith and Stuart Freese in the top 5. We have one truck coming to pit lane. We have the 44, a unscheduled pit stop for rookie Dean Thompson. Not sure what the issue is there on his Thompson Pike Group Chevrolet, although still having some sort of a problem here with less than 10 to go here in stage number 2. Having a tough run for Dean Thompson as well as his teammate Carson Hocevar, but one of their other teammates currently inside the top 10. That's the 45 of Brendan Poole. A great run by the 45 early on. Poole ran the truck race at Fontana last Friday night. He has driven for one of the smaller teams, the 46 of Glory to God Racing, and in fact it's that truck you saw right there going towards pit lane. Ryan Huff behind the wheel of that truck this weekend. But this is the truck that Poole drove last week. Didn't really finish or run all that well. But this week he got the call from Al Neese to drive that 45 truck for this weekend in Las Vegas. Right now having a great run just outside the top 5 in 6th place. And behind him we saw the 38 of Zane Smith. He got stuck in the outside lane. He got tight. Missed the bottom. Jack Wood's going to do the same right there. That's going to allow the 25 of Matt DiBenedetto to get to his inside here. Coming off turn number 4. Chris Neckes was able to take 7th away. John Hunter now up to 8th. The battle is on now for 9th place between DiBenedetto and Zane Smith. And there's the 16 of Tyler Ankrum. Remember, the top 10 will get stage points here in about 5 to 6 laps. Right now, the 38 and the 25 currently 9th and 10th. But you have Ankrum's Jack Wood as well as the 32 of Ty Dillon, all trying to get some points here. Although Ty Dillon, a Cup Series regular, will not be getting points no matter what. But although he can't get points, he can still take points away. And now Zane Smith falls outside the top 10. Here's number 7 of Austin Hill. Two-time Truck Series winner, currently inside the top 15 for Spire Motorsports. We got a lot of good trucks. Meyer back here. We got Grant Enfinger, Matt Crafton, Tanner Gray. He started inside the top 10. He's falling back outside the top 15. Parker Kligerman, Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar. I mean, who would have thought Kyle Busch would be running in 22nd place on lap 36 of this race? Obviously, the contact we saw earlier in the race with the 42 of Hocevar has hurt the performance on both the 51 and the 42. Definitely a tough break for Kyle Busch, a hometown hero. He runs this race nearly every single year because it is his hometown race, and definitely not going to have the doesn't seem he's going to have the finish he was seeking for, as although the race is not over, time is running out. Saw the 20 of Drew Dollar on pit lane, but back up here at the front, it is still Ryan Priest driving away. This is about the same margin of Zane Smith had on second place in that first stage. And right now, that's kind of what we see here once again with Ryan Priest leading the way. He started outside the top 10 and has driven his way all the way up to the front. And we'll be coming to 2 to go here in stage number 2. The 20 of Drew Dollar, as well as the 44, as we talked about, Dean Thompson made a unscheduled pit stop. Right now we have about 32 trucks on the lead lap. And got right now the 30 of Tate Fogelman. He is the last car on the lead lap in 31st place right now. Tyler Hill also on pit road. 2 to go. Right now, Greg Gaulding is Tate Fogelman's biggest fan right now, because if Fogelman goes a lap down or the 27 to Chris Wright, that means one of them will get the free pass and Greg Gaulding will be stuck a lap down in the next stage. But off turn 4, this will be the last lap here in stage number 2. Ryan Priest in front, and he's going to catch the 30 of Tate Fogelman. Will the 30 slow him down? Could that allow the 13 to possibly close in and steal the win here in stage 2? But it looks like that gap is a little bit too big for the 13. Fogelman goes a lap down in turn number 1, and now Priest makes his way to the outside of the 27 to Chris Wright down here in turn number 3. And that will wrap up stage number 2 from Las Vegas. Give it to Ryan Priest. He wins stage number 2 here in Las Vegas, as the caution will come out for, I believe, the second time today. So there's a look at your stage 2 winner, the racechoice.com Ford for David Gilliland Racing. Caution comes out at a perfect time for Jesse Little. He'll be able to stay on the lead lap, and the 27 of Chris Wright, a second truck for Rackley War Racing. He'll be getting the free pass here. And that will wrap up the second stage here from Las Vegas, giving the stage win to Ryan Priest. Now, Priest, not a full-time driver in the Truck Series, so playoff point doesn't really do the driver a whole lot, but that could be good for the Owners' Championship for this number 17 truck. So, Pace Car will now pick up the leaders. Ty Majeski, second place. I believe he was 9th in the first stage, so definitely a great rebound here in stage 2. Ben Rhodes, 3rd. Chandler Smith and Stuart Freese in the top 5. And we're going to see if we have any techers coming onto pit road this time by. These drivers still have to make a pit stop for fuel. This would be a perfect time for them to do so here under this yellow flag. And it appears 17 is going to stay out, as well as everybody behind him. Interesting call for Ryan Preece, and many of the guys on the lead lap, they're going to stay out. So, the yellow flag is out as stage 2 is now wrapped up. We're going to go take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the final stage under green here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. Getting set to go back to green, this time by to begin the third and final stage here from Las Vegas. Ryan Preece, Ty Majeski, remember all the leaders stayed out. Nobody came down pit road, so these guys will still have to make a pit stop here. And we've seen tire wear play a huge role, or has been pretty significant. The amount of fall off we've seen so far. How early are these guys going to try to come to pit road, get and take advantage of those fresh tires, and who is going to try to stay out as long as they can to see if they can catch a lucky caution? We're going to have about 30 trucks on the lead lap. Chris Wright got the free pass. Tate Fogelman, Greg Golding, the first 2 trucks a lap down, and you have Tyler Hill, Drew Dollar, and Dean Thompson 3 laps down. Haley Diggins on track. She is 5 laps down, and 4 drivers are out of the race. Nora Benning, Thad Moffitt, Ryan Huff, and Jennifer Jo Cobb, they've all taken the trucks behind the wall. So we've seen 2 20-lap runs, 2 playoff points given. Now we have a win on the line with 25 laps to go. The 17 of Ryan Preece, the 13 of Ty Majeski, your front row. And Preece leads them down into the Geico restart zone, and we are back underway here in Las Vegas. Pretty good jump by the front row, the 17 and the 13. Preece down low. Majeski trying to get a little bit of a push from the 18 of Chandler Smith. Up high, you see Ben Rhodes looking at maybe going 3 wide in the middle lane. Pushes Majeski a little bit higher up the track. He saw Stuart Friesen down low. Majeski has a nice run out here off turn number 4. And to the line, give the lead to 2 to 13 of Ty Majeski. He leads that lap at the line. Majeski goes a little bit too high, has to get out the gas. Look at the run the 52 has in the middle lane of Stuart Friesen. He'll take second away here off turn number 2. Majeski now falls into third, Ben Rhodes in 4th, and Christian Eckes in 5th. And we have the 13 coming to pit road. A few laps after the restart, the 13 is going to be the first driver to come down pit road. Is this a little bit too early? I mean, he can't. Now, all these drivers, they have to make it on field, but when you come down this early, there's always that risk of a yellow coming out and trapping guys a lap down. As for the lead, Stuart Friesen down low on the inside of Ryan Preece. With 22 to go, Friesen trying to grab that lead away from Ryan Preece. A nice run though on the outside of 17. He's able to tuck the 52 down low, allowing the 52 to not giving them any chance to use all the racetrack. And there you see the 13 leaving pit road. It's Preece, Ben Rhodes, Friesen, DiBenedetto, and Brennan Poole. As I believe we have more trucks on pit lane. Lawless Allen, Jack Wood on pit road. Looks like Ryan Preece was given the signal that he's going to come down pit road. He was pretty low on the back straightaway. We got the 99, 52, 25, 45, 38, and more coming to pit road. Ty Dillon, Eckes, Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, and more. And the question is, where are they going to cycle out compared to the 13? Because 2 things that really help Majeski there is, 1, he's going to have a lap or 2 with fresher tires than the leaders. But 2, he came to pit road with all by himself. He didn't have to worry about slowing down for anybody else. And Majeski needs this thing to stay green. See 3 of Mike Snyder coming to pit road. Todd Bodine's on pit lane. And here's the 17 of Ryan Preece, the 45 Brennan Poole. Where are they going to cycle out to Ty Majeski? You saw Majeski going by the 27, and this could be for the win. Majeski trying to clear Ryan Preece. He does. So put Majeski out front. Ryan Preece, Brennan Poole, Jack Wood, and Zane Smith, the first 5 on new tires. But then, what about this group here led by Matt Crafton, Colby Howard, Tyler Ankrum? And there's Majeski. More than comfortable. Will get by the number 88. But for Ty Majeski, though, he is, even though he is the leader when it comes to the drivers who have came to pit road, he is not the leader in the overall race. That currently is the 27 of Chris Wright, the E&B Corporation Chevrolet. He's the only driver that has yet to come down to pit road. Right now he leads with 17 laps to go, but here's a 17 to Ryan Preece trying to unlap himself right now. That would put Ryan Preece, the 3rd truck, on new tires. Jack Wood has driven past the 17. Now he is 2nd on new tires. The 27 will have to come to pit road, so when he does, it will be Majeski, Wood, Preece, Matt Crafton, and 5th place could be between Colby Howard and Zane Smith. Howard might take that 5th spot away from Zane Smith. No, the 27 is going to come to pit lane. It slows down the 91 of Colby Howard. And Howard has to get on the gas to keep from avoiding running in the back of the 27. And look what that's done to the 91. He has lost 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. And make that 6 spots here with the 40 of Lawless Allen, the 23 of Grant Enfinger. A tough break there for Colby Howard. Chris Wright, though, with him coming to pit lane, the 45 coming back to pit road. More trouble for Brennan Poole. With Chris Wright on pit lane, that will hand the lead officially to the 13 of Ty Majeski. Remember, he came down pit lane about 2 laps before everybody else did. Not only did he have about 2 or 3 laps on first tires, but he also had clean track, and he also had a clean entrance to pit lane without having to have to worry about getting run over by somebody else. Could that be the winning call to bring him down pit lane early? And now 2nd place. How about Jack Wood looking for a career best finish in 2nd place? Under attack though by the 17 of Ryan Preece. And how about Matt Crafton? He has not had a good start to the year at all. Did not really get the finish he was hoping for at Daytona. Had a terrible run last week in Fontana. Currently comes in here outside the top 20 in points, and he didn't even get stage points at all in the first 2 stages. So right now, Crafton, although it has been a tough year so far, and we're only 2 races in, this would be a great little bit of a confidence booster for the driver of the 88 as he'll go past the 17 of Ryan Preece to take 3rd spot away. So move Crafton to 3rd, Ryan Preece 4th, and now Zane Smith in 5th. So Zane Smith, who fell back to almost outside the top 10 in stage 2 after winning the first stage, he's now back inside the top 5, being hunted down by the 16 of Tyler Ankrum. Ben Rhodes had a kind of a slow pit stop. He's now back in 7th. Grant Enfinger, Colby Howard, and Lawless Allen having a career night in 10th place. Another driver who had a very slow pit stop, the 52 of Stuart Friesen. He was up there battling for the lead with Ryan Preece before they came to pit road. And he's now mired outside the top 10. Trouble for the 32 truck of Ty Dillon. He's been on and off pit lane. Trouble for the 32 truck. He's already about 2 laps down. He's back on pit lane this time by with 11 to go. We got a few guys in this race tonight that'll be running double duty here. Kyle Busch is one of them. We saw Ty Dillon, another one. And we have a few guys in the Xfinity race tomorrow that'll be competing in the Cup race on Sunday as well. We have John Hunter Nemechek. He'll be in the Xfinity race tomorrow, driving for Sam Hunt Racing. A lot of these, well, you know, a lot of these guys running double duty here. It'll be interesting to see if there's anything they can take away from this race that they can use to their advantage to tomorrow night or on Sunday. The Sunday race for the Cup Series, that will be a day race, so you know there could be some different characteristics that could still help on Sunday, even though that will be a day race, as today is currently a night race. So it'll be interesting to see how that will play out throughout the course of the weekend. But 9 laps to go for Ty Majeski. Made his name known as the 24. Jack Wood has now left pit lane. Trouble for the 24. See, now that damage on the left side, that was already there from earlier in the race. But Jack Wood, another driver who is having some trouble. We're being told that it could be a mechanical issue on the 24. What a heartbreak for Jack Wood. He's running in second place and possibly had a shot at winning this race should we get a late yellow. And now the 24 here and possibly a motor letting go. The 45 of Brennan Poole had a similar issue after he had his speeding penalty. And now we have the 32 of Ty Dillon also being reported as a motor issue. So all of a sudden we have 3 trucks all running inside the top 10, and now all 3 experiencing some sort of engine failure late in the race. Jack Wood, Brennan Poole, and Ty Dillon. I want to go back, though, as we were talking about Ty Majeski goes past a 62 of Tom Bodana, put him a lap down. But Majeski made his name known initially on iRacing. He was one of the best iRacing drivers on the sim. Got his name known, got some sponsorship from iRacing. He moved over to became a Ford Roush development driver for many years. And then he got kind of his first big break, driving a part-time schedule in Xfinity back in 2018. Was going to run full-time in the Truck Series for Nice Motorsports in 2020. Just didn't really have the results, the success. Became a part-time driver for Thor Sport Racing in 2021. Has some good moments, has some races where he looked like he had speed to win. And that gave him a chance to compete full-time here in the Truck Series for 2022, replacing Johnny Sauter, a former Truck Series champion. And now Majeski looking at possibly his first ever win in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. All he has to do is hang on for 4 more laps. Myatt Snyder also has gone a lap down. Right now it is a 5-second lead back to Ryan Preece in second place. So not only did Majeski leapfrog his way into the lead, but he's been driving away ever since. I mean, ever since he got the lead, he has been putting faster laps on the board than the 17, than the 88. Although one of the fastest trucks on the racetrack has been this 38 of Zane Smith. Currently in 4th place. Tyler Ankrum has now driven his way into 5th. Ben Rhodes is 6th. Grant Enfinger, who's had a tough night, has now driven his way up into 7th. Colby Howard, Christian Eckes, and Stuart Freese. And that is now your top 10. Chase Purdy just on the outside looking in. There's Ricky Lawless Allen. A career night for Lawless. John Hunter Nemechek, Carson Hocevar, who had contact early in the race. Another driver who has really struggled in this stage. Haven't really talked about him a whole lot in this final segment. The 18, Chandler Smith. I believe he was 4th and stayed at the end of stage number 2. He did not have a good restart at all, and he's now currently on the outside of the top 15. So it's definitely going to be a tough finish for the sophomore driver Chandler Smith, who entered this race with 2 straight top 5 finishes. And now Zane Smith's driven to the back bumper of the 88 of Matt Crafton and the 17 of Ryan Preece. There's Haley Diggin going by. She has much fresher tires than the 2 guys in front. But for Ty Majeski, it is the white flag for the driver of the number 13. We're going to try to get our camera on Majeski. He took the lead after a pit call right in the beginning of this final segment, was able to get out in front. Has driven over to almost a 6-second lead. And for the first time in his NASCAR Camping World Truck Series career, Ty Majeski is going to go to victory lane. Ty Majeski wins the Victoria Voice Foundation 200. The first win of his NASCAR Camping World Truck Series career. And it comes on a type of track that he doesn't have a lot of experience. He was known as a short track guy in the late models, and Majeski, a former Snowball Derby champion, is now going to grab his first ever Truck Series win on a 1.5-mile speedway right here in Las Vegas. He wins the Victoria Voice Foundation 200. That gives us 3 different winners in the first 3 races of the year. Ryan Preece, his second race. Remember, Ryan Preece did not run at Daytona, but he had a top 5 run last week and another top 5 run here tonight. Matt Crafton, Zane Smith, and I believe Tyler Ankrum is going to be the top 5. So as now the trucks will come to pit road and they will begin post-race inspection. Let's take a look here at the finishing results from tonight's race here from Las Vegas. Ty Majeski wins tonight over Ryan Preece. As we take a look here at the finishing results, the top 12 on your screen. Tyler Ankrum does come home with the top 5. Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger, career run for Colby Howard in 8th, his best ever finish. Christian Eckes, your pole sitter, ends up 9th, and Stuart Friesen had a terrible pit stop under green. Comes back to at least score a top 10 effort. There you have Chase Purdy in 11th, and Lawless Allen comes home with his career best finish as well in 12th place. Then you had some guys who we expected to run a little bit better here tonight. John Hunter Nemechek, he just didn't really have a whole lot of pace, not like his teammates. Actually, at least one of his teammates, Chandler Smith. John Hunter ran outside the top 10 for much of the night. Austin Hill had a quiet night in 14th. Carson Hocevar had damage from very early in the race, ends up at least getting a top 15. Matty Benedetto, Chandler Smith, Parker Klugerman, Tanner Gray, and Kyle Busch. Such a uncharacteristic night for the 51. I know we got some damage from early in the race with Carson Hocevar, but even then, it just looks like that 51 team just missed the setup, honestly. And just a tough night for Kyle Busch. Overall, Derek Kraus, Timmy Hill, Blaine Perkins, and Jesse Little. 23 trucks finished on the lead lap. Jesse Little was the first truck 1 lap down in 24th place. And then 25th on back, Myatt Snyder, Todd Bodine, Gray Galding. It was Haley Deegan all the way back in 31st. Jack Wood, he had a engine let go, or at least went down a cylinder when he was running in 2nd place. He ends up 32nd. Chris Wright had trouble there at the end, 33rd. And then Ty Dillon and Brennan Poole ended up going to the garage area. Drew Dollar out of the race on lap number 39. And then Jennifer Jo Cobb, Thad Moffitt, Ryan Huff, and Norm Benning completes the 40 truck field. So now we're going to take a look here at the playoff grid. 3 races in the books here for the Truck Series in 2022. 3 races in, 3 different winners. 3 names in green. Ty Majeski now locked himself into the playoffs. Remember, 10 drivers will make it in. And it's still so early to be talking about points. But then again, you look at some of the guys on the outside looking in, like Matt Crafton and Grant Enfinger. Still a long way to go, but still pretty interesting to see those 2 names still below that cut line. So going to be interesting to see what they can do. In a couple of weeks, we have next weekend off of the Truck Series. But the action does not stop here from Las Vegas. Be sure to be here tomorrow night for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And then on Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series as well here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So thank you guys for joining us here on the 4Y Broadcasting Network. And we will see you tomorrow night for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race here from Las Vegas.